So let's talk about friends. If you didn't see it, I made a video about outgrowing friends and why it's okay, and you can watch that video right up here. So I saw this video from none other than Jordan Peterson, and he was talking about friends, and he said two things that stuck with me from the video I watched. Both of them will be linked up. There is one video, but then there's also another video, and both of them will be linked down below. So I remember seeing it a while ago, and I stumbled upon it again, ironically, while scrolling on my phone, so I decided to make a video on it. He said that there are two ways to know if the people that you consider your friends are actually good friends, and it was actually a really good point. He said one thing that you can use to know if somebody is your friend is you can tell them bad news and they'll actually sit down and listen to you. We all know that person that we hang out with, and you might be going through some things, or you might just be thinking about something and you just want to talk to them about it. So okay, let's use the example of losing your job, right? So say you lose your job and you sit down with this friend and you start telling them that you lost your job. That person is not your friend if they cut you off about losing your job and then they start telling you about how they lost their job 3 years ago and just making the story about them. The person is not your friend if they try to spin your problem to make it about themselves, or if they try to justify why that bad thing happened to you and then try to derail the conversation. Or actually, another bad thing is that they might secretly be happy that you lost your job because now it gives them the upper hand to try and one-up you in a sense, and that's just terrible. I'm gonna be completely honest, I wasn't the best at this when I was younger. I still do it now, but I'm more conscious about it, let's say. When somebody would tell me something bad or some bad news, I would do exactly what Jordan Peterson said that bad friends do. I would cut them off and then derail the whole story by telling them something bad that happened to me. And I swear I didn't do it on purpose. It was a complete accident, but the funniest part is that I tried to justify it by telling myself that I was relating to them. Then after my mom died, I had to obviously tell my friends, and I noticed that they weren't interrupting me because they genuinely felt sorry for me and they wanted to help me in the best way that they could. That's also a good way to know if you have a good friend. If you have bad news and you tell them, they'll sit there and listen, and they'll help you come up with a plan of action if the problem is solvable. The second thing he said that really resonated with me was that you can tell your friends good things and they'll help you celebrate. That one really stuck with me because I remember something good had happened to me, and I went out with a friend to get food because that good thing happened, and I told him what the reason was, and I literally got no response. No congrats, no that's good, no I'm happy for you, nothing. And that stuck with me to this very day. And it's funny because at the time I was like, I wonder why that was. Was it because they were envious? Was it because they thought I didn't deserve that? Was it because they wanted to be in that position? It was weird. I never called them out or anything, like that. I just let it slide, but it was really eye-opening to me. It's funny because I remember him saying that in the video, and then it was kind of like a realization. Like I came to a realization. I was like, whoa, that's kind of weird. But anyway, if you have someone around you and you're scared to tell them that something good happened, that's really saying something. Let me say that again so you really take that in. You have a friend that you're afraid to tell them that something good happened to you. So you half-heartedly tell them that something good happened, and then they do the thing that I used to do. They cut you off, they make it about themselves, or even worse, they make it about somebody they knew. And like I said before in my last video actually, you want people around you that are on the side of who you could be versus the side of who you already are. You can watch that video up here, by the way. You can't associate yourself with people that are spiraling downwards, because the worst part is that they'll try and bring you down with them too. So let's say you want to quit video games, right? Just an arbitrary goal for somebody watching this video right now. How would it look if you were trying to quit video games and one of your friends is telling you to come and play games? They know you're trying to quit, so why ask? And playing a joke is okay sometimes, sure, right? But there's a time and a place. They might even have ulterior motives, like I said before. They might be trying to get you to play video games because they know themselves that they can't quit because, you know, maybe they've tried before. So, you know, you're playing games, I'm playing games, then you want to quit because you think you're better than me. So I'm going to try and get you to play because I tried quitting before and I didn't have the mental fortitude to do so. That's why the saying misery loves company goes the way that it goes. When I didn't have a job, when I, you know, had just graduated, back when I felt like a bum, all I did was complain. I complained that no one wanted to hire me. I complained that I needed experience, but no one wanted to hire me to give me experience. All I wanted to do was make money so that I could buy games and shoes and other stuff like that. And I remember telling my friends that, you know, looking for jobs was bullshit because they wanted me to have experience, but I needed a job to get experience. And literally all I did was complain. Luckily, like I said in my previous video, you know, my mom got me a job working security, and that's how I got my first job, and the rest is history from there. It's funny because I remember when I would tell my friends that finding a job was bullshit, they would agree with me and I would get happy. I would be like, oh, you know, finally somebody gets my point. That's why misery loves company. If you have friends that'll listen to what you're saying and actually take the advice, because that's the key here. Anybody can listen and then forget what they heard 20 minutes later. But if they actually listen, then that's great. If they decide not to listen to you, well, you know, you tried, I guess. You did all you could. You tried to show them the light, but they refused. Now it's time for you to go on and live your life. Maybe they realize in 10 years and they say to themselves, you know, maybe this guy was actually trying to help me the whole time instead of just trying to lead me down a path of destruction. At the end of the day though, friends are very important. Friends are relatives that you choose for yourself, and whoever you choose your friends to be is up to you. And I'm nobody to tell you different, but remember that you have an ethical responsibility to take care of yourself. And you have an ethical responsibility to surround yourself with people who will wish you well when you're doing something good and stop you when you're doing something destructive. If you have friends that are doing the opposite, like shooting you down when you've accomplished a good thing, and then they're low-key happy when something bad happens to you, then they're not your friends. I just want you, the person who's watching this video, to have somebody to talk to when things are going good and when things are going bad. And if you have no one to talk to, all of my social medias are linked down below if you need them. And as always, thanks for watching.